Okay, hello everyone. Today we're here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 in the Cessna 152. We have a 67 nautical mile flight from Sierra Juliet Charlie San Jose to Delta Victor Oscar Gnoss Field. We'll be flying VFR and we'll be using VOR navigation to get us to where we're going and stay clear of the Bravo. I'll cover the flight plan during the briefing, so let's hop into the pilot seat and get started.
Brakes. Test and set.
For this flight, we are running with the black and maroon livery for the Cessna 152. It also has maroon seats, which is very cool, so I'll put the link so that you too can enjoy that. We are departing from San Jose, which is a Class Charlie airport, which means we need to talk to clearance delivery ground tower and departure to get out of here. And we're going to Gnoss Field, which is an untowered airport across the bay.
Open 1/4 inch.
To get there, we're going to avoid the Bravo airspace from San Francisco. Now, the Bravo airspace is over us and surrounds us, so to avoid it, we're going to stay underneath the shelves of the airspace. You can see the shelves for each segment of the airspace on the VFR map. So that's written as a fraction, and the lower number is the starting point, the upper number is the ending point, and those are written in hundreds. So 40 would be 4,000 feet. So as long as we fly underneath the lower number, we are good. To get there, we're going to use VORs. So there's two VORs. One is at San Jose and the other is at Skaggs Island. And we're going to use the intersection of radials from those VORs to determine when to turn. So on departure, we're going to intercept the 077 radial from San Jose. And we're going to remain on that radial until we reach the intersection of the 309 radial to Skaggs Island. When both of our CDIs are centered, we'll know we're at that intersection, and then we'll turn and fly heading 309. Then we'll follow that until we get to the Skaggs Island VOR, and then turn and fly heading 240 radial from Skaggs to get to our destination airport of Gnoss Field. Gnoss Field has right pattern traffic for runway 31, which is the runway that we're expecting based on the winds. You choose the runway to align with the winds, so if the winds were coming out of 310, you would want to choose runway 31 because then you would be flying into those winds. You can see the runway and pattern entry information on SkyVector in the information for the airport, but you can also see it right here on the VFR map. So on the VFR map, you can see RP31, which indicates that runway 31 has right pattern entry. Our flight path takes us over a symbol on the VFR map, which is a bunch of blue dots with the text San Pablo National Wildlife Refuge. So if we head over to the FAA website, we can look up the rules for that. And the rules are, you can't land there unless it's an emergency, and you need to stay at least 2,000 feet above it. So that will not be a problem for us. We'll be flying at least 3,500 when we pass over that location, and we'll be heading on to Gnoss Field from there. To use our VORs, we're going to dial in the VOR frequencies into nav1 and nav2 radial. Those are coupled to our course deviation indicators, which are the two gauges next to the radio stack. Once we get them dialed in, then we will dial our desired headings into the OBS. That's the little dial attached to the CDI. OBS is Omni Bearing Selector. So as I twist that knob, I can dial in the heading that I want to fly, and the white needle, the vertical needle, will move towards the center as I approach that radial from that VOR. So the trick is to dial in the heading you want to fly, the radial that you want to intercept, and then watch the needle until it approaches the center. And when it's dead centered, you're right on that radial, so then you turn and fly that heading, and you will fly along that radial until you arrive at the VOR. There's a small white arrow on your CDI which will tell you if you are flying to or from the VOR, and it also tells you when you're dialing in your radial if that number is going to or from the VOR on that heading. If we overfly the VOR, that'll flip, so we'll see that to arrow flip to a from arrow as we start to move away from the VOR, and we'll be using that for Skaggs VOR, so we'll watch for the little arrow to flip to let us know we've arrived at Skaggs VOR, and then we'll make our turn on to our next heading. San Jose clearance, November 359 Golf Charlie with information whiskey. We are a C152 slant uniform. Request north departure. On departure, fly heading 009, maintain VFR at or below 2,400, departure frequency 121.3, squawk 2313, November 359 Golf Charlie. San Jose ground, November 359 Golf Charlie with information whiskey, transient parking near Delta, request taxi. Taxi and hold short, runway 30 left via Delta Whiskey, November 359 Golf Charlie.
Sky 254 Kilo, San Jose, Terra altimeter 3000, ident, and your radar, ident. Ident, 254 Kilo, your radar contact 2 miles southeast of Moffett Airport. Did you receive information, Juliet? 4 Kilo, make left traffic for runway 30 left.
Traffic to fall site 254 Kilo.
Number 4 Kilo, Roger, and caution weak turbulence 737, a little parallel. Make left close traffic, runway 30 left, cleared for the option.
San Jose Tower, November 359 Golf Charlie, holding short, runway 30 left. Cleared for departure, runway 30 left, November 359 Golf Charlie.
Sky 3747, San Jose Tower, following a Cessna Skyhawk on a close-in left downwind, runway 30 left, cleared to land number 2.
This is a Payware airport. This is Orbx San Jose International, and like all of Orbx's airport, it's fantastic.
30 left, clear land number 2, Sky 3747. We're in clouds. Roger. Traffic will be no pattern for you. It'll be no problem. Right. Number 8, Tango Alpha, turn left at Golf, and then contact ground point 7 for taxi back. South 4195, Tax North California.
Go to Park South 4195.
Terminate, keeper squawk, contact Moffett Tower 119.55.
Keep us on, radar service terminated, and then contact Moffett Tower on 119.55, 63251. Traffic to fall site 254 Kilo.
Cessna for Echo Kilo, follow traffic, caution wait turbulence, wind 3006, 2030 left, clear for option.
This is option 30 left, 254 Kilo.
Tower 3747, traffic on left mid foot down, and the Cessna will be following you.
3747 ready.
Okay, if you look at the top CDI, CDI-1 has centered up, so we are now on the 009 radial from San Jose, so we will fly that heading until we reach our intersection from Skaggs Island VOR. So let's sit back and enjoy some of that scenery. you watched my last video, you saw me bust a Bravo while trying to stay underneath the shelves. In this case, we did better, so we had some VORs to help us out and keep us on track. So hopefully the tutorial at the beginning was helpful. I know I learn a lot every time I do a new flight, and it's always cool to try to figure things out. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to click that like button, subscribe, and leave me a comment. As always, thanks a lot for following along with me, and stay tuned for further flight adventures.